Oh, hello there, how are you doing? Welcome back to Crafters TV. My name is Joe Remnants and this is going to be a fabulous show. It's the best of all the recent goings on, best of the recent demonstrations as well, all the best of the recent deals as well, and we've brought them all back for you. You can shop ahead right now over on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au, and shop the show. Now, we are in the midst, of course, of our festive event where we're celebrating Christmas and getting you ready for all of that Christmas crafting. And by doing that, what we're doing is we're giving away a free gift every single day. Now, today's free gift is the Nature's Garden Spring is in the Air doily border. Now, all you need to do is make sure you've got £30 or $30 worth of products in your basket, and we will ensure we pop one of these into your order. You don't need to do anything, it will just automatically appear there for you. Right, let's dive in. Masterclasses are something that we do a couple of times a week here on Crafters TV, and it's where we really take it back to basics. We focus on the technique and really show you something gorgeous. Now, what we had recently was some of our hunky-dory products on one of our recent shows. Here are the highlights that I've handpicked. Take a look. Let's dive in and go through exactly what you're getting included, because there is absolutely loads in here. First off, we're going to look at Blush Moments. Now, within Blush Moments, what you've got is 8 sheets of your foiled and die cut toppers within here. So you're going to be able to pop these out. You've got the mats, the layers, you've got the borders that go with these as well. You've got all of those in there for you, all beautifully die cut, ready to assemble and make something absolutely gorgeous. So you've got those in there. They're your die cut toppers. Then what you've got in here too is you've got 16 sheets, 8 of which are foiled, and these could be your card blanks. These could be inserts if you wanted them to be. You can fussy cut into them. There's loads of different ways that you're going to find of using these, but they're all beautifully coordinating with all of those toppers as well. So we say it makes at least 16 cards, this collection. I think that is super conservative. So as well as your 16 sheets, you're then going to get as well the paper pad included in here too. Now, it's 160 GSM, which is fantastic, and it's got beautiful double-sided imagery in here to allow you to create wonderful cards. So these sheets here, for instance, cut those in half. You've got 2 smaller toppers there ready to go. On the background, on the back side, you've got your sort of patterned papers almost that would go with those. Some lovely floral elements. You've got some things that you could just cut out and just pop into a frame. Some lovely home decor elements there too. So loads in here, loads of different ways you're going to be able to use it. And you've got that hunky-dory quality all the way through. Now, if you want to get it individually, £25 or $35 to grab hold of that one. Right, the next one we've got is Special Moments. Now, this one has got 16 die-cut topper sheets within here. Check out the foiling. Great on this one as well for maybe some of those more masculine cards that we struggle with. I love the rainbow what are these called, Sarah? These
rosettes.
Rosettes. I always want to say Cosette. She's a character from Les Miserables.
Cosette if you want. It could be a Cosette.
She's a character from Les Mis. But again, real great variations of different designs in here, really encompassing a little bit of everything, which is fantastic. So you're going to get 16 sheets of that, which is amazing. Then what you're going to get is a huge 32 sheets in the 350 GSM printed and foiled cardstock in here as well. So you can see again a whole host of different designs. Would make great card blanks. You can use them for inserts, you can fussy cut them. There's loads that you can do with them, all done in that adorable scoreable bendy ink as well, so it's not going to crack, which is fantastic. So if you want to go for that one, absolutely you can. £25 or $35 to grab that one.
Yeah, the good thing about a masterclass is, you see, that we're going to be able to go through everything in loads of detail. So I'm going to start with the Blush Moments. So I've got loads of gorgeous cards that Anne-Marie has sent me. I'll just quickly run you through again exactly what you're getting, because, and bear in mind this is the one I've been using, so there'll be a few sheets missing. You do get this like idea sheet in with every one, so you get loads of ideas of cards, so don't feel like you're going to kind of be left out to dry when you're there. Can you see? This is what I've been using for a lot of my cards. So there's all of these these topper sheets, you see, you get 2 of each one, but they're all individually die cut. So they've got loads of die cut pieces. All of the frames are in multiple different sections. You've got the little toppers, the ribbons that go with it. 2 of each one of these. There's some more of these. Here we go. I'll go through all the toppers first. How gorgeous is this? Joe thought it was a rare. He said, is that a pigeon? We're like, no, Joe, it's a dove. It's a dove, Joe.
It's a very fancy pigeon.
But then look, it's these cardstock sheets I love. Let's have a look. I do want to get a couple of the, let me just get you some of it. Right, I want to show you a lot of these. So can you see, I love the butterflies. I mean, look at those gorgeous butterflies. And again, each of these, if I just show you, you take the topper out, you've got the outer topper, you've got this inner topper, so you can be doing multiple different sheets. You can be doing these as K cards. You can be popping these through the middle of each other. So loads to go out, and 2 of each one of the sheets. And this is the bit I was getting to, these gorgeous printed sheets. So this is on like a matte finish, but they've got this, can you see, I don't know if you can see that there, they've got little bits of foiling on them all. So some beautiful design. Oh, look at these. Look at these, Joe. I mean, they are absolutely gorgeous.
I need to let you know, already sell out, Sarah.
Already had sellouts.
Really busy this morning. That black mirror, I did say it was going to go quickly. It has already gone. Let me find a box, because I think this is not going to be the last sellout. I'm going to need a box.
It's going to be a box type of show. Right, so that is the topper sheets. Now, that would be $19.99 on its own. I'm in pounds here. And this would be the paper pack would be another $9.99, so you're saving an extra £5 when you go for them both. Can you see though, you've then got all of these printed sheets, so they match perfectly. There's that lovely butterfly border, but you're getting printed sheets of it. So if you're doing your decoupage, things like that, you've got all these sheets to go with. Loads of little sentiments on there as well. Loads of different design options, all in the same colour palette, the same imagery that are in with the main kit. So just to show you a couple of these cards, this is what I mean. I'll show you them to the close-up. I've put me, let's have a look. Yes, I've got that out of the way. Now, can you see this there? This is what I mean when I say you could be doing shaped ones based on the shaped toppers that you've got in here. That gorgeous pigeon, Joe. Our pigeon's looking really nice.
I think it needs a name.
Yeah, it's a nice pigeon. Oh, you could be using it with some of your acetate pieces as well. Some of your printed acetate sheets on here. Love that one there. There's one of them. That's from that book behind that we're talking about. Just loads of different options. That's the idea. We want to try and show you as many different options, give you as many ideas as what we possibly can. And of course, I'm going to be doing loads of demos as well. So I've got a fantastic demonstration planned with this one too. So I'll just pop these to one side. We can go through those at the end. You know I love a good Z-fold. I'm taught into me Z-fold cards at the moment. Well, what I thought I'd do is one of these sheets. So can you see how lovely this sheet is? I thought, right, this lends itself really well to a Z-fold card. You've got that lovely, it's got the foiling in it, so you can see there it's got that lovely foiling, how the light's bouncing off it, and the little foil pieces along here. So if I show you how we're going to make this into a Z-fold, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to trim it to 11 inches. This is A4, so I thought for those working in the US as well, I'll just round everything off to nice round numbers. So I'm going to trim it to 11 inches wide. So there's 11 inches. Then we're going to bring our scoreboard in and we're going to score it first of all in half. So if I get my scoring tool, half of 11 inches. So we'd be talking about the 5.5 inch mark. So you put your score line in at 5.5 inch. And this is the special printing on the cardstock that means when you score and we fold this, you're going to get no cracking on here. So you've got your score line at the halfway point, 5.5. And then we need to do it at half of that, which would be 2 3/4. So I'm going to put a score line in at 2 3/4 as well. And then what you need to do when you do a Z-fold card, you see, is you're going to fold this over, just burnish along there. And this is what I mean when I say absolutely no crack. I mean that, let me show you to the close-up camera. That is absolutely perfect. And it's the same when we do this one here. We fold this over, give it a nice crease. And that again is absolutely perfect. So what I'm going to do,
no cracking your crease.
No cracking me crease, Joe. It's
fabulous.
Perfect. So we fold it over and fold it back on itself, okay? Then remember how we do a Z-fold card? You're going to come in, you're going to trim the bottom part off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on here and I'm going to take it to 5.5 inches. Yeah, 5.5 because it was 5.5 that way. And we're just going to get that trimmed off. I've just realised, Joe, that I meant to trim this off first of all, because the reason I did this is normally I say, and then watch what we do, we flip it over and we stick it on like that, whereas you're not going to be able to see me pretty pattern. So let's have a look. See if I've got another sheet of this in there, Joe, because that is not what I was going to show you.
Do you want to steal one of mine? Are you all right?
Can I steal one of yours?
What one would you like?
Yes, yeah. I want that one, Joe. I want the one that looks like that. I meant to trim it off first.
This one?
Yes, here he comes, right.
You're lucky, I've got two, so we're all right.
Ooh, right, I'm back in, right. So back in business. So let's start that again. Now, here we go. 11 inches, right? So we go 11 that way, then do your trim off first. So 5.5 inches first, right? Because I'm going to use this separately. Now that I'm going to fold like this, which is exactly what I wanted. This one, I'm going to fold it the opposite way first. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the score line. So I'm going to do the 2 3/4 and the 5.5 there. So can you see what I'm aspiring for, Joe, is the fold the other way, so that that's going to go onto the bottom there. You see now what I meant to do? And then what I'm going to do is just come in with a pair of scissors and do a little bit of fussy cutting around all of the top of these lovely roses.
Gorgeous.
So I've just done it to pop a little line along the base of here, right? So that is then going to go, I'll just use my other bit as a sticky point. That is now going to go onto the front of here. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit, I'm going to put it right at the bottom. So you put a little bit of your glue at the bottom and a little bit of your glue at this side as well. And then that is going to line up perfectly on the base of there. So it's just this nice simple Z fold card again, but don't make the mistake I did, Joe. I was thinking, no, I'll show you the nice easy way. Obviously I can't flip the cardstock upside down. So now I've got the nice Z fold card with the design all cut around there. So there's our base, and then you're going to take a couple of toppers. So I've just got a couple of these toppers ready off the out of the pack. I'm going to pop this one on here. And you see all of the foiling is all matching. The foiling in the toppers matches the foiling in the backing papers. And I just think they look brilliant. So that's going to go onto there. And you can shut your card, you see, and just line it all up beautifully well over the centre. And then I'm going to pop that. We've got that happy birthday would go inside. There, doesn't that look lovely? And that was just kind of a nice, quick and easy one to get us started with.
Now remember, with all our shows, if you want to go back and watch the whole thing back, you can do so really easily. Pretty much all of our Crafters TV shows live forever over on the website, so you can always pop yourself back and watch the whole of that masterclass if you want to. Wednesdays on Crafters TV is when we have Creative Cravings. Now, I'm not going to say it's a beginner's show, but it really is kind of a bit of a back to basics show where we take it with maybe some more simplified techniques, but still creating beautiful finished projects with amazing collections. Now, Debbie has been banging on for ages about wanting to do the beautiful butterfly collection, so we thought it was only fair that we let her loose on Creative Cravings. Here's some of the highlights.
We have got the majestic butterflies. I'm just going to hold it there for a second so you can see this. It is exquisite, and it's not just an ordinary embossing folder. Oh, no. It's a 3D embossing folder. It's made of thicker plastic because you've got 3 dimensions of embossing in here. So that's 3 layers of embossed detail. So there's sculpture in here, there's depth in here, and it really does add some honestly beautiful things. Did I show you the cards? Did I show you the cards? Let me show you the cards. Look how gorgeous this is. Oh, make something
that's
similar
divine.
to that. Absolutely. And do you know that's been embossed onto Centura Pearl and then inked around with our water reactive ink pads?
Me.
Oh, honestly, beautiful. It's an absolute gorgeous one. Taking a couple of little colours and going back to those beautiful butterflies. Look at how beautiful that looks. Absolutely gorgeous. Nesting dies in the middle, using some of the dies that you have in your collection, sentiment dies. Don't forget, we've got a gorgeous set of sentiments in stamp sentiments in this collection. Look how beautiful this one is in black. Look how gorgeous that looks in black. Now, you know, all of us guys here at Crafters Companion, we love a bit of gilding wax, and that looks absolutely exquisite on there. So honestly, there's so many things that you can do with an embossing folder, it's untrue. And hopefully when we do the masterclass, I'll show you some of that. However, I'm going to show you a little one today using what we call the letterpress technique, which means...
Is that next Monday?
I believe it is, Joe. I do, but I thought they'd forgotten me because I've not heard anything from anybody, but I forgot. I have been busy. I've not checked my inbox, so I need to go and check my inbox just to make sure. But yes,
your box will be overflowing.
On Monday, Joe, me and you.
Oh, it'll be great. I can't wait.
Kickstarting the week off.
Your first masterclass.
It is. So excited.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
I'm so excited. I really am. Can't wait. So let's go back to this technique. I am going to cover this in a bit more detail as well. Now, letterpress technique is an absolutely fabulous way of you putting a bit of ink into your embossing folder and to create something really fabulous. Now, you can use water reactive ink pads. I've got my water reactive ink here, but you can also use the quick dry ones if you want non-smudging, non-smearing, because that's what that one is. I'm going to use that one. It's very juicy as well. Absolutely stays wet while it's in the folder, but the minute it contacts this card, utterly dry. It just is beautiful. So now there's a couple of ways you can do this. You could grab a brayer, Spectrum Noir. We do a nice big juicy brayer. I thought I had mine in my crafty bag, but I think I've lost it because it was at the top of there. It's just disappeared. However, I will have that ready for Monday and show you how to use it with the brayer. What I'm going to do today is just literally pop it into the folder just by literally dabbing that over. Now you can already see how much ink is going on there. This is a proper juicy ink pad, Joe.
Are you pouncing or pressing or dabbing?
I am lightly tapping.
Lightly tapping? Okay.
Yes.
There's so many words, isn't there, for
there is.
the pushing of something onto something.
A swooshing technique, you can swoosh it around there. But it just, and to be fair, depending on which side you put this on would give you two different looks, Joe. I'm wanting to have one where I've got lots of pink in the background and then the white on the top where the embossing detail is. So for this method, I have inked up there. Let me pop my top back on there for a second. I'm using pink tulip, and I guess what I'm using again, Joe? What did she call it? Crafty staple. Crafty staple. White stamping card. I love how you say it. I
don't know if that even sounds like how, in my head, that's how Laura says it. I'm not even sure if it does sound like.
Right, so I've sandwiched that on there. Now what we're going to do is grab our plates. So by that, I am bringing in my one cutting plate. I'm going to bring in my magnetic shim. Don't forget, this is a 3D embossing folder, so the platform is completely different. So I've got my magnetic shim, and then lastly, I've got the top plate, or as our Sarah calls it, the frosty plate. It's actually the plastic shim, but that's Debbie, the only combination. What was that, Joe?
Can you demo any faster?
Why?
We're just about, are we halfway through the show? What's the time?
Nearly.
2 minutes to go until we're halfway through the show, and half of our stock has sold out and gone. It is going so fast.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow is all I'm going to say. Now, I'll give you a top tip when you're cleaning this. Warm soapy water is really good, or a little wipe. Don't do what Debbie did. The last time she used it, I used Sandstorm in there, and I didn't realise, obviously the quick dry ink is very quick when it contacts the cardstock. Look, no smearing now, but I forgot it stays wet when it's on a non-porous surface, and it was still wet, so I got Sandstorm ink all over my fingers, all over my cardstock as well. But yeah, soapy water or a little any cleaning solution there. Now, I haven't quite finished, but can you see that beautiful design? Look how gorgeous.
Sophie's asking, can you do that technique with the opaque pigment inks, or would it not work?
Well, you've read my mind. Well, I'm telling you, part of the masterclass has got a little bit of that technique on there.
The masterclass?
Absolutely, Joe. You can use your pigment inks into your embossing folders, and when you're finished, all you would do when you take it out is run your clear embossing powder over there, Joe, and you're going to get a completely different look. You're going to get that lovely, beautiful embossing detail with embossing powder. It just looks sensational. It really does. I'm hoping to get through that part on our masterclass on Monday.
Wonderful. Stacey's also asking, where can she send her pet pictures? It is studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Apparently, loads of them have been coming in already. We'll tend to share some of you. You got any pets, Debbie?
Well, right. So I used to have a gorgeous King Charles Cavalier. My gorgeous Millie was my little fur baby, who I had the pleasure of sharing nearly 11 years of my life with before she passed a couple of years ago.
Bless.
Absolutely the most gorgeous natured dog in the world, a big softie. And what, do you know what I say about pets being your best friends? I could tell her anything. And she'd just give me that doe-eyed look, and that'd be me melted and all my troubles of the day completely gone. My daughter, who lives with me, has got a mad crazy beagle. And Bella is as nuts can be.
Right.
She's an absolute crazy dog. She's the total opposite of what Millie was like, but she brings me so much joy. She actually eased my heartache, would you believe? Just by having her. When Tasha does move out with Safi and Bella, I think I'll need counselling, Joe. I think I'll need some counselling.
You're going to have to get a little doggy that you can bring with you here.
Oh, I'd love it. I would
imagine?
love it. Can you imagine?
Something little that goes
fabulous.
in your handbag, like a little chihuahua or something. Or yeah, like a little mini sausage dog.
Absolutely. I just love that idea. Right, now, while I was busy talking there, I don't know if you saw, but I just framed it a little bit more with some ink, some pink tulip just around the edge to frame that a little bit more and stand that out. You could take your lovely... I wish I'd got some. Have we got some here?
What are you after?
Bit of spray and sparkle. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, I think
and
I've
look
got some
at all
up here.
this.
No,
I can't see any. Don't worry. That is fine, Joe. It's absolutely fine. Let me bring back in my scoring board though for a second, because I'm going to make myself card blank again, Joe.
Just to let you know that the Scoremaster scoreboard comes with the Envelobox creator as well.
Oh, fantastic.
And you get all of the details and all of your different envelope boxes that you want to make. Full instructions to make thousands of different sizes included with that.
Absolutely. And you know what, Joe? That means you can, to your heart's content, you can make as many card blanks as you want and your own envelopes. The one thing that frustrates me is that people tell you you've got to make a card that's 6x6, 5x7, 8x6 because they fit in envelopes. I don't do that. I prefer the other way, where you can fit your card of your size, of your choice, into an envelope. And that's why that Envelobox and this scoreboard are a must-have. They really are. Now, I've taken a piece of cardstock. I'm just going to score, literally, the 1 before 6, just going down there, and then score that round. Fold that over, and I've got myself my perfect A5 card blank, done and dusted, one fell swoop.
Gilly, our floor manager, has let me know how many pets she has. I thought she was going to whisper it to me, but no, she had to write it down. There's so many. Are you ready for this? I don't know how she's got room to get in the house with all these pets. She's like Dr. Doolittle, isn't she?
That's what I was just
Are you
about
ready
to
for
say.
this? She's got 3 Westies, a Border Collie, 3 chickens, 24 ducks, 9 bunny rabbits, 3 guinea pigs, I think that is, 7 budgies, 2 cockatiels, and some koi carp. It's like a bloody farmyard round there at her house.
Bless her. She's animal mad, is our Gilly. She's animal mad. She absolutely loves
She really is.
animals.
Ariana sent us in a picture of her cute little dog Lily Fee, so hopefully we'll see that soon as well. Keep sending your pictures in. Laura's having so much fun receiving them all. Studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk. She's just letting me know how much fun she's having going through them. It's brightening her day up. It really is. Details are there along the bottom of your screen. She wants you to flood her inbox with positive pictures of your pets. That's what she's telling me.
Oh, how lovely. A feel good Wednesday. That's what we want. Our
We
pets
all
always
want a
do
feel good
this.
hump day, don't we?
A little what again?
A feel good hump day.
I still can't get used to saying that, Joe. Well, I can't come to terms with that term. I'm sorry. I won't be using that one. Right, now I've taken some more of that gorgeous cardstock. And I say cardstock, Joe, it is from the paper pad, but it is of the most amazing quality. And also, you can stamp onto it because it's uncoated. So you could just directly take your stamps on. You can use your distressing inks around the corner, like our water reactive ink pads, to give that nice little frame around there. But what I'm actually doing here, Joe, is if I just bring this in, this is the one that I did earlier, cut down to size and already, I'm just going to place this on to some black cardstock. I like a bit of matting and layering when it comes to it just frames your things, and it makes it look really, really nice. Let me just pop that into place. And one good thing about the all-purpose glue is exactly that. If you haven't got it on straight first time. It doesn't matter because you've got that bit of wiggle time to get it into place. So let's just pop that on. I'm going to now place, in fact, tell you what, I'm going to have a little bit of 3D Collage Glue. I want to give it a little bit of a lift again. Let's pop some on there. There we go. And then, a little bit in the middle. And just showing you how quick and easy this can be, Joe, just with an embossing folder. Some of those papers, do you know what I should have done? I should have gutted my paper, covering all my paper up and wasting it, sacrilege. Now, at the back of that paper pad, have we mentioned about the toppers, Joe? Let me see if I can find the
Yes,
paper
indeed,
pad.
they're in the back there, aren't they? All die cut. Do you want me to give you a look at them?
They are indeed. I'm just going to move this out for one side because I just want to show you right at the back of your paper pad. So it says 50 pieces on here because you get 48 double-sided sheets, which our Joe's already gone through. I mean, look at those colour tones. They're just exquisite.
Oh, I've just seen a
Florals.
picture of a cat in a dicky bow. We'll have to show them to you soon. Oh my, keep your pictures coming in.
Now these are all toppers, Joe. You can see here we've got all these beautiful toppers, from florals to butterflies to sentiments to little toppers, and there's 2 sheets full of that you're going to be able to use. I just think this is beautiful. It just adds that extra detail, and that's exactly what I've done with this one. I've just taken one tiny element out of there, popped a little paper pad, paper pad? What's a paper pad? Foam pad. Craig will be laughing his little head off. Foam pad. There we go. And I'm using as well, in the back there's the little sentiments. So even though you've got the sentiment stamps in the collection, you've got all these sentiments at the back of that paper pad too, and there's a lot of them there. So yeah, I'll pop that there going across. And then I'm just going to place on, and let me just give this little butterfly a bit of a shape. Even these butterfly toppers are in there as well, Joe. Just an exquisite collection. Worth getting the whole of it for the obvious reasons is that you're going to be able to use it in so many ways. Now look how quick and simple that was to put together using that beautiful embossing folder and then just a couple of elements from that topper pad at the back. And hey presto, you've got a card as quick as anything, made up, done and dusted.
How beautiful is that? Right, 55.50, 85.28 gets you all 3 collections of these butterflies. It is very, very busy across for the whole collection. Remember as well, if you go for them all together, you get that beautiful pad included free of charge as well. Now, let me just whiz through the 3 different options that you've got that make up the larger collection. So, this one here is your metal die collection, 2022 or 42.84 gets these for you. And they are beautiful. They're all available individually as well. Double discount means we were going to give you 10%. We've given you a little bit more as well, which is fantastic. We've then got the stamp and die collection, which is this one just here. You've got the butterflies and you've got the beautiful roses within here. Should have been $39.96, however, $25.58 today, $28.73 if you're shopping from across the pond. 20 plus another 20% off there as well. And then we've got that stamping and embossing collection for you. This is great because it's got really versatile sentiments within those stamps for you. And let's face it, look, you could pay more than £9.70 just for an embossing folder. Here you get the embossing folder included within there as well, which is fantastic. And of course, you're going to get that paper pad. If you get them all together, you're then going to get the beautiful paper pad included as well. And that paper pad is just divine. The paper pad is available individually, but why would you pay for it individually when you can get it for free? That was such a fantastic show. If you want to watch the whole thing back, you can do that right now over on our website. Remember, you can shop all of these great deals as well. Normally, the great deals only last for like 48 hours, but for the best of, we make sure we bring them back and they're in stock right now. crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu if you want to shop along. You can even refine it down by the show, so you never need miss a deal, which is fantastic. Now, Thursdays are all about Cartload here on Crafters TV, and Debbie was back again recently. I know, double Debbie. How fabulous. She had one of our Try Me, Craft Me kits. Here are some of the highlights. It is her Try Me, Craft Me kit. It's a stamp and colouring kit that we're looking at. It's our colour blend pencils, which I know those of you that got these when we did our recent Colour Me Happy shows, you absolutely love and adore them. £20 or $25 gets you 12 of the pencils. Now, I think it's fair to say that if you went out and bought, let's say, the market leading brand of artist quality blendable pencils, I think you'd do very well to get just the 12 pencils for £20 or $25. We're going to give you great quality pencils that have got no filler, no talc, but what we're also going to do is give you a load of extra value too. So we've got an A5 stamp set in there, you've got an ink pad, and you've got some of that Nina cardstock in there too. I am still diving through all of your comments over on Facebook. Lots of people letting us know what they're up to, what they are crafting today. Anne asks, a quick one for you, Debbie, if you die cut the embossed piece, will it squash it back down again if you try and die cut it after you've embossed it?
That is a very good question. Now, technically, the way I would do it, my own personal way of doing this would be die cut, emboss. That's the way I would do it, because you can, especially with a 3D embossing folder, you can lose some of that. So that's a fabulous question, Anne, and I'm glad you brought that up, because yes, that's what I would personally do. Die cut first and then emboss, just because you're going to get that crisp 3D feel without any, any damage to it, so to speak, if that makes sense, Anne. Great question, honestly, great question.
Fabulous. Now, I know you love these pencils, don't you, Debbie? How
Absolutely.
great is the quality on these?
Oh, the quality of these is, when we say artist quality, I really want you to think, I mean, I've had pencils in the past, where you get that scratchy feel to it and you can't blend them very well. These are real artist quality pencils. Now, when I say pencils, they come in a beautiful presentation tin, absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's just show you. This is a real thick, rich, pigmented pencil. It really is, and the colours on here are absolutely fabulous. This is our bold bright, so you can see all the colour tones that you get in pinks, red, yellows, green, blues, purples, but these are a 4mm core. So in here you get a 4mm core that's made from that artist quality pigment, and you get a premium grade wax based pigment in there as well. They are truly fabulous and very, very easy to use as well. But like I said, you get that beautiful pencil. It's almost like a pencil tin, Joe. I've seen people take them out of the tins, put the tins in the bin, and stick them in a little pot. No, absolutely not. We've gone to town with these. This is not no cheap little one that you can pick up at Poundland or those other places. Oh, it's terrible. I shouldn't say that, should I? Because that's fine if that's for you. If your purse strings, they can only stretch to that, that's fine. But if you want quality at a great price as well, with the rest of the things that we've thrown in as a try me kind of kit, this is brilliant. You've got a die pad. You've got an ink pad in here as well that will double up not only for your pencils but will also for your alcohol markers. So it's great if you want to try a little bit of dabble in both. And a gorgeous, and I mean gorgeous, let me just show you for a second that beautiful ink. Joe, what's wrong with my words today? A beautiful set of stamps, which I have already pre-cut, pre-stuck with my stick and spray. This is our grey unmounted stamps, which means you need to give them a nice cut out around. I've already pre-done that. You've probably seen Leanne do it before, but it's very simple to do. You just grab a pair of scissors, our Crafter's Companion scissors, and you're going to cut around them to release them, so to speak, from the rest of the rubber, if that makes sense, Joe. However, what you will need, let me just bring this in for a second. If you want to adhere this to a rocker block or a stamping platform, you will need the stick and spray, the repositional spray, and that gives you a nice little, it gives you that nice sticky to get onto your card. Now, I've already pre-done mine, so it's already got its nice little stick on there, so I'm just going to pop that onto my stamping platform, and then I'm just going to give this a nice ink up. Do you know what I love about grey stamps, Joe? Is the real crispness that you get.
So much detail, isn't there?
The details.
I know a lot
incredible.
of our US customers, Debbie, struggle to get our stick and spray over in the US.
Yes.
So any sort of repositional adhesive is good. Sarah also talks as well about using I'm not really meant to say the brand, but a Pritt stick, which is like a glue stick, like a PVC glue. Is it a PVC glue? I don't know what it is, but you know the one. The white glue stick that you twist at the end and it pokes out. You know the one.
Look at the detail on that, Joe. Can I just go in close? I want you to see that fine line detail that's on that stamp. You won't get this with any other stamp than a grey stamp, which is why we still, here at Crafter's Companion, we actually produce our own. We've got our own little place that does our own rubber stamps, and honestly, when you get detail like this, It's just absolutely exquisite. Then I'm just going to pop that back on there for a second. There's loads of other stamps on there, but I just want to give you a little indication what it's like and what these pencils are like, Joe, because they are incredible pencils. Let me just pop that back down there for a second, and I'm going to bring in a bit of, just to give me a little bit of comfort underneath from my glass mat. Now then, this is the question next. Which colours do we colour this in with, Joe? Oh, what colour is it?
Oh, can we make it quite exotic, I'm thinking?
Oh, what?
Exotic.
Exotic.
Tropical.
What about...
I want to be channeling a beach holiday in Thailand.
Well,
I
we
can
could
feel it
have
warming
gone
up actually
orangey
now.
there.
Well, think about it.
I think, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a nice, we've got wineberry and orchid. How fabulous is this? Now, literally, all you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil on, and just think this is fabulous. Can I also mention, Joe, what we've got on for anybody who's dabbling into the world of colour blend pencils?
Oh.
We've got a little kit. I'll just bring it in
we
for
do
a second.
indeed.
You won't get the little jam jar, that's just mine. But what we've got on here is a nice little set of, I think we've got the blending solution, which I've got in my hand here, a nice big pot of blending solution.
You do. You get the sharpener, the blending solution, you get the stumps.
The stumps.
And you also get the sander as well.
Do you get this all in this lovely little presentation?
No, it doesn't come in that
wallet, or does it
box.
come?
Is that yours?
Well, yes. Sorry, but it is on the.
You
on
can
the
send
website.
yours to someone if you want.
No, I think
You're
I'll hang
all
on to
right?
it.
Okay, fair enough.
I think I'll hang on to it if you don't mind. But a great way, and I will show you how to use this in a minute. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of colours down onto here. Let me get my orchid in there as well. Oh, it's gorgeous. Do you know what? I might do a little orangey, yellowy one as well, Joe, because these colours are absolutely fabulous. I just love them. You don't get that. Do you know, like, have you ever heard pencils squeak?
No.
Have you not?
I don't think so.
Oh my goodness, I have. When you get it onto your paper and it squeaks away, you don't get that with this. You just lay down this gorgeous colour and it's absolutely, it's just beautiful. And again, you can see now, I think I might choose, is this a purple, a darker purple? Indigo. Let's go in with a bit of indigo.
Cynthia says she's got the whole set of these pencils. She thinks she might be a bit of a pencil addict, which is fair to say. And also remember, if you love colouring and all things colouring, we have a weekly destination colouring show here on Crafters TV. Colour Me Happy every single Friday, 11 a.m. here in the UK, or 6 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. This week, Debbie.
What is it this week?
They are Backstreet's back, all right? It's the Tri-Blend pens are finally back in stock. So you want to join myself and Sarah tomorrow for that. I think the download might be available now as well. The other thing to say as well, that we did do a Colour Me Happy show on these colour blend pencils as well. So if you want to get these and then you want to go back and get 2 hours of education inspiration, you can do that. So go over to our website, click Crafters TV, and you can go back and find that Colour Me Happy show. You can even filter them out by types on Facebook as well. So there's playlists there, so you can group all of the Colour Me Happies together, all the cartloads together. It makes it really easy to find what it is that you're after.
Absolutely. And you know, there's nothing, I love colouring, Joe. It's something I do, not just for work, but just something for myself. The fact that these blend so beautifully together, and if you do treat yourself to this little kit, I'm going to show you in a little way that you can get that more of a seamless blend. But these just work so gorgeous together. They really, really do. And I'll show you closer up in a moment, Joe, while I'm busy colouring in here. But you can see how easy this lays down, the colour, the way that I'm popping on the darker colour onto the top, and the way that it all blends is just absolutely gorgeous. It really is. Let's get another. Let's try and get quite a bit of this down to show you. But I've been watching the Colour Happy shows. They're absolutely incredible shows.
What two colours are you working with there, Debbie?
I have got the wineberry, and I've changed it up to the indigo because I think it gives me a nice little contrast over the top of the flower. And the wonderful thing about these, Joe, especially with these stamps, which is why we've chose these stamps, is you've got that lovely line work. Do you know the detail on there? So you can see where the shading goes. Sometimes a lot of people struggle with shading and light, the composition of how it should look. And I mean, I'm not a colourist by any shape or form. I love colouring just because it takes me into a whole new little world. It really does. And I can get lost in a bit of colouring. Is it mindful, they say? Mindful? Is that the right word, Joe?
Whatever you want it to be. You know what I say?
What's that?
My new motto is you do you, hun. You know, you call it what you want to call it. Mind half full, mind full, mind boiling over, you know, mind barren. You can call it what you want, really. There's so many different things that you can say.
Absolutely. But going back to what I was saying, this line heart, because of all that colouring, the shading, you've got little indications of where to take it because you've got this detail on these stamps. I love our grey mounted stamps. It's where I first started. They used to be on wooden blocks, but very, very expensive. Really, really expensive, Joe. And I mean, when I talk expensive, silly amounts of money that you used to pay. I've still got them, I won't part with them, but the fact that we are able to bring you such great value, such great detail when it comes to these stamps, I just think, oh, why wouldn't you use these? They're absolutely amazing.
And the stamp set on its own, Debbie, would be $4.99. So it's
Absolutely.
great that you've got it included in there. And also what's wonderful about this collection is the fact that you've got everything you need the moment it comes out of the box. So lovely to have Debbie back in the studio a little bit more often now. Again, if you want to watch the whole thing back, pop across to the website and you will be able to catch that. Now, something else that happened recently. Colour Me Happy is something that happens every Friday here on Crafters TV. I hope you've downloaded this ugly mug and got it coloured in as well from yesterday's download. We were having a lot of fun with that. We're going to cast our minds back a little bit further. You guys have been waiting so long for the Tri-Blend markers to come back in stock, and finally they were here. And I really enjoyed the part of the show where Sarah also took a look at those Annabelle Spenceley stamps too. So here is all of that crafty goodness.
Now, 2 things you must have if you want to get a great result. If you want to do exactly what I'm doing here, you must have the right type of cardstock, which is the one we do called the Neenah Classic Crest. It's a special, like, smooth finish which allows your pen to move around on the surface to get the blend, doesn't soak in too much. And then you must use the right type of ink pad. So this here is our Finesse alcohol proof. We do it in multiple different colours. They're all available on the show, but you must have the alcohol proof. Now, we do have a set. If you want the stamp collection bundle, you see, what we're going to do is, there you go, look at the price on there. Because it's double discount, you're going to get the Rocker Blocks, which is the 2-piece set, the Rocker Blocks I'm going to use. You're going to get some of the Neenah. You're going to get the ink pad, and we're going to throw in for you a nice rubber stamp for you to do some colouring as well. So it's just brilliant for if you're just getting started. I don't know how many of you watching today maybe are completely brand new to this. Let me tell you, last time I did this, a lot of the other mums from school, because the kids were off, a lot of the other mums from school were started watching my shows, and loads of them ordered the Tri-Blend pens for the kids. You know, like I said, our Oliver's 6, so on one hand you could say, well, that's a lot of money to spend on a 6-year-old just to get some colouring equipment. However, if I look now, you know, literally we've had a fabulous. Our life in lockdown has been amazing for the kids. They went back to school this week, but they've been living their best life. They've been doing, and we do craft and colouring on the curriculum every day in the Davies school, the Davies homeschooling, I can tell you. So let's have a look. With the Rocker Blocks, for any of you who haven't used them before, let me just show you. If you look from the side, you'll see that the blocks are curved along here. So you'll see that each one of these is perfectly curved, which means that when we come to stamp this down, you see, you rest on the heel and you're going to rock from heel to toe. And that rocking action means that you get a perfect transfer of ink. So can you see, none of that bit of stamp is missing because we've literally rocked from heel to toe. Now the Rocker Blocks alone for the pack of 2 are $9.99. So for $9.99 or $14.99. So for an extra $5, you're going to get the ink pad, you're going to get the Neenah cardstock, and you're also going to get that stamp set to get you started. So we've stamped her. Let's have a little go first of all. Do you know what I really love? I really love the the jade greens. It's a lovely shade to colour with, jade green. So I've got my jade green blend. So let's do her little top. Let's imagine the sun is over here. So everything we're going to do, we're going to have this as the light source. So if we start on her little top first of all, because these have this lovely fine nib, I'm just going to come round from the edge, really fine along the edge there, and start that colouring off. So I've coloured a third of the way, my very deep one. I'll probably have a little bit of shading as well underneath her little top. right? Then I'm going to cut to the medium one, and you just go over the end of where the dark one finishes, and we get into that lighter one. So, and the more you go over it, the more it's going to blend. And then we go from that into the lighter shade again, and I'm just colouring over that light one. We'll leave our little bit here, and then I can just do all of this, and we're just going to blend that perfectly down. You know what I could do with here, Joe?
What's
can you
that?
Can you remember on Tuesday we had that rotating design board of Tiffany's?
Oh yeah,
I wish
that would be fabulous,
if I knew
wasn't
where
it?
it was, that would make life so much easier.
It really would. Loads of you commenting along. Rick's asking, Joe, I bought all the Annabelle stamps, and amongst others, I have the tri-blends. They are perfect for colouring in Annabelle. Jan is asking, what weight is the Nina? It is 216 GSM, so it's the perfect weight and card type for your alcohol markers. Stephanie says the tri-blend markers and the Crafters Companion demonstrations have given me the confidence to also colour with the colour blend pencils as well. So
wow.
A lot of you starting with the colour blend markers, upgrading yourself to the colour blend pencils too, which are also on the show. I'll give you the details of those a little bit later as we go through the show. Love the tri-blend colouring shows, says Robbie. Nicole saying she has some of the Spectrum Noir cardstock. Is that good for colouring?
Yeah.
I guess it depends which one it is. If it's the watercolour, mind you, could you colour in watercolour with these?
No,
okay.
Don't use it. They're not a water-based product, so I don't want you to use watercolour cardstock. It's just going to soak the ink out of your pens.
Okie doke. So yeah, if you've got the Spectrum Noir pad, just make sure it's the alcohol marker pad that you've got, not the watercolour pad that you've got, because obviously two very different types. That's looking beautiful, Sarah.
It is. Well, I've done a little top now, and all I'm going to do is I've got the fair skin now, so I'm going to do all of her little skin areas as well. And do you know what? I think I'll colour her skin first of all, but then I think we might give her a bit of a lockdown tan as well, Joe. Add a little bit of tan in there.
Sounds good. Getting very, very busy now on that main collection. Loads of you going for this. Please make sure you've got the download as well, because you've got that free colouring download we bring you every week with Colour Me Happy. Stacey is asking, Sarah, does it matter what cardstock you put underneath your project? Does it need to be Nina cardstock underneath, or can it be anything?
Yes. Yep, pop another piece of the Nina cardstock. If you look, can you see it just picks up any little bits where you've gone through a lot as well. This is what you should have on the back of your cardstock, by the way. If you're using the right cardstock, that is the finish that you're going to get on the reverse, which is completely right.
Fantastic. Yes, very, very busy on these now. Remember, if you want to watch and shop at the same time, you don't want to miss the deals or the demonstrations, you can pop across to the website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. And remember, a fifth of a big stock has already sold out and gone. Nicole saying it is the alcohol pan that she's got from Spectrum. Yep, that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Rosalind says... Leanne talks on her Facebook Lives about doing the dot test. You can absolutely go back and watch back all of Leanne's Facebook Lives over on her Facebook page. Remember, if you're going for these tri-blends today as well, not only are you going to have all of this inspiration that Sarah's sharing with you, but you can also go back and watch the previous Colour Me Happy show featuring our tri-blend markers too. So on there, you'll have another 2 hours of inspiration and education led by Sarah. So absolutely, get this Facebook Live shared or saved, and then go back and do the same with the other one, either doing that here or doing it over on our website. It's completely up to you. Stacey says, good morning, lovelies. The markers are fantastic. I coloured a picture and gave it to a friend, and she couldn't believe that I had coloured it myself. We hear that all the time, because it's that blending that people struggle with so much, usually completely taken care of when you use these markers, which is fantastic. A lot of you still talking about the preview and how excited you were about that. It was Ramona actually in Germany was saying, Joe, when will we be able to get our hands on all that stuff? Soon, Ramona, I promise. But remember, the 26th of June here on Crafters TV will be Rose Gold Day. We'll be launching the range in the UK and Europe as well. And remember, if you love the Totally Tiffany stuff we brought you on Tuesday, she'll be joining us in the Craft House a little bit later today as well. How are you getting on there? I feel like I may have lost you slightly, Sarah.
You have done, yeah. You know me, I can't talk and colour. So this is where working great for me, Joe. You keep talking, I'll keep colouring. All I've been doing, just one little thing is, I use the earth brown shades first and step down to the earth brown blend to get lots of depth in that swing. So if you were wondering what I did there, that's what I did there. Her hair, I'm trying to decide what colour to do her hair. I think I might try the light yellow. Or the golden brown. Oh yeah, let's have a little bit of blonde in there. The nice golden browns are going to be lovely. So you see again what we're going to do with the hair. So where you would have it behind. So can you see this bit of hair is behind this one. So I'm going to go out with the darker shade here. And we're going to go dark, medium. Oh, I really could do with that rotating cutting board. This would rotating cutting board, rotating colouring board. It would just make life so much easier instead of just turning my project all the time. So there we go. So we've got that perfect blend there, and then it's going to be the same. You're going to do the same on this one here. We're going to have the darker shade coming out here. And then we're going to go dark, maybe put a couple of little bits coming through here. And we're going to go dark, medium, light.
Wonderful. Do you want to see a picture that Bethan's coloured with the Annabelle?
I want to see any colouring that we've got, Joe.
Oh, look at this, Sarah. That looks fabulous.
Oh, I love that one. That is awesome colouring. I'm loving the shading on the hair with that one. What a brilliant colour in her hair.
She's got those, the frame from the Rococo frame from the Vintage Lace collection around it as well. Really finishes it off beautifully. Eileen sent us these ones in. They look gorgeous. Wonderful floral projects there.
I love that floral corner, Irene. I recognise that one. Beautiful.
Really, really lovely. Lots of you talking about how you can watch back all of the shows that we previously brought you over on YouTube. You can watch them back. You can watch them back on Facebook. They're all there on our website as well, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Remember, next week, very excited to be launching Christmas on Monday. I know it seems a little early, but in crafty terms, it really is slap bang in the season to start your Christmas crafting. So make sure you join us for that. Astrid in Oxfordshire is watching us on the big telly. Hi, Astrid. Good morning. Lovely to have your company. Astrid will be joining us on the 26th, Sarah, when we'll be bringing in her live. She's one of those 2 lucky crafters that have got their hands on that Rose Gold Signature Collection already. So we're excited about that for the 26th. Kian is saying hi as well. Leona saying, do all Spectrum Royal pens have to be stored horizontally? As I want to organise my Sparkle, Aqua and other pens. Yeah, I think it's best to have them all stored on their side is the best way to give them the best amount of longevity. So definitely the best way of doing it. If you want to stock up on the Nina cardstock, then definitely it's great to do that. 30% off the Nina at the moment. It's a 60 sheet pack as well. So it's a bumper pack for £8 or $12, which is great. If you need some of the pen storage, the one that I've got here in the studio, maybe you might want to join me this Sunday for Second Chance Sunday. It's all I can say. There might be a lot of core product coming up on that show for you, so definitely join us then. Angela saying she loves, she colours so much ever since she started using her Tri-Blend markers. Love them. So loads of you, just universally, so much love for them. Mornings, Joe and Sarah, says Corrie. I love the Tri-Blends as I'm new to blending. I bought 4 different packs of the 6 pens. And now love blending them. If you want to check which ones that you've got, Corrie, and which ones are in these packs and whether you want to get these ones, the best thing to do is pop across to the website. All the colours are laid out there for you and all the colour numbers are there as well. So you can cross-check and cross-reference against your one. Is that what you're doing there, Sarah? Are those the numbers you're using?
Yep. So I'm just going around here and I'm using BJ. So what I'm doing is just showing you a couple of options. I'm going to show you how to do a nice shadow, and these are a couple of the options that I use for the shadow. So I like to use a really pale colour, or if you wanted a bit of shadow with a little bit of pinky maybe, this one here is your nice, this is your pale pink one as well. So you're going to choose a nice colour for a shadow. I'm going to go with my brown grey, so this one here in the middle. Now if you've gone out of the lines a little bit as you're going round, watch what happens. I can go all the way around this with the outside of just a lighter colour, and it just like grounds it in place. and gives it a really nice kind of position and feel. So I sometimes do, especially if I'm not paying attention, go out of the lines a little bit. And this is a brilliant way to sort that. Joe, I'm going to have to go and look for that rotating board because this, my life would be so... I feel like I've been introduced to that board now and my life has become so much better as a result of it. And then I meant to get it out for the show and I totally forgot.
Now you can't live without it. We'll grab that for you in just a moment, Sarah. Very, very busy. Remember, if you want to get the best deal on the show, the best way to do that is buy the 2 packs together. 72 markers in each pack, of course. You've got 24 pens, but 3 nibs on each means you get 72 markers. In this main collection, 144 markers is what you're looking at. Don't forget as well, you can use your Club Inspire discount. So gold members would pay $116.62 or $174.70. Platinum members would pay £103.66 or £155.29. So great stock up on them. You're looking at 71 pence per marker or $1.07 per marker for platinum members. So it really is a tremendous value for money when you consider that what you're getting is Spectrum Noir quality, but at what's fair to say is a craft price. You go out and look at what other sort of brand leading alcohol markers cost out there on the market, and it is much more than we bring you this amazing quality with Spectrum Noir. That's looking beautiful. It's made such a difference just adding that halo around it.
And do you know what, Joe? I've just been in my own little world. For the last 15 minutes or so that I've been colouring that image, I've just been in my own world. We've had these pens out and quite often we sit as a family on a night. Oh, Charlie, my 3-year-old's not allowed these ones. 2 reasons. One is he does this with the nibs. I've sat with my tweezers and pulled the nibs out of so many of our Oliver's tri-blend pens, but also he ends up with it all over. So Charlie's got his own set of aqua blend pens. So if you just decide to draw on my walls or my floor, I can at least wash it. You know, he drew all over my couch once. My cream couch. All over the cream couch. It's all right, but it was all... I took the covers off and chucked them in the washing machine, thankfully. So since then, he's not allowed alcohol pens. He's only allowed the water-based pens. But we literally all sit, the 4 of us, as a family on an evening for half an hour. And what I love is if I come home from work and say, right, what we're going to do tonight, instead of, can we go on our iPads, Mummy? It's, can we get the felt tip pens out, Mummy? And I'm like, yes, kids, we can absolutely go and do that. And it's just a nice thing that we can sit and relax and do together as a family.
Oh, that Colour Me Happy show is fast becoming our most interactive show of the week. You guys love sending us all your pictures in of what you're colouring. It's really fantastic to hear from each and every one of you. Now, on Friday night, Totally Tiffany was in the house ahead of the HSN shows. Loads of her products are available right now over on the website. Some of them are within this show as well, in this best of show. We just won't have a chance to dip in and see Tiffany, but you can of course go back and watch the whole thing back if you want to, and those deals are live right now on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.eu. Right, I feel like it's turning into the Debbie show, this show, and I'm not sad about it. I'm here for it. In fact, she was here again recently with our festive masterclass with the embossing folders when we kicked off our festive event. We had a lot of fun. We actually got ourselves in quite a bit of trouble actually, so it might be a good one to go and watch back in its entirety. But here are some of the highlights.
Now, depending on which side you want to create this, and I'm going to do both to show you, but this side is the raised side, this is the one that's got the indentations in, and remember when you pop it together, that raised side is going to push through, and that's where you get your embossing detail from. I'm going to use some watercolour cardstock for this because I am using our water reactive ink pad. Now, it is a little small embossing folder, 3x6, and I'm sometimes lazy and I go across with that straight away. However, I did want to show you with the brayer technique. When you do it with the direct pad over there, what you can do is sometimes get an uneven look to it, where it looks a little bit more, I don't want to say messier because the technique is still as nice. However, when you apply a brayer to your ink pad, you get a more even coverage when you run that over. So what I'm just going to do first of all, Joe, and because this is a rather big brayer, I'm just going to apply in all areas, I'm only going to use a little bit of it, but what I'm just going to do then is just roll that across, and you can see straight away what that's doing. It's hitting the raised area. So what that's going to do when I put that through is give you a completely different look to how it's going to look in a moment, Joe. So I'm just going to give that a nice layer across there. In fact, shall we do it all in one go, Joe? We've got loads of time. Let's do it all in one go.
You
so
do
I can
you,
show
hon.
you.
That's what I say.
Exactly.
You're in charge.
Let's do it
You
all
do
in
what
one
you
go.
like.
So again, I'm just going to move that around. I'm just applying the ink onto my brayer, and again, I'm just going all over. Now, like I said, you can take that straight across and go straight over, but what you get is you can almost see the swooshing effect onto your pad. Does that make sense, Joe?
Is that the technical term for it?
Swooshing,
Yeah.
a swooshing mark, yes.
So.
But there's no right or wrong way. If you want a more even finish, then go in with your brayer because you get a more even finish and it applies slightly differently. But you can almost see straight away and I'm going to do exactly the same there for a second just to make sure I've got all the raised
You've seen
areas.
those ink pads at home. Debbie, how long have we been showing people those ink pads? 2-3 minutes?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
20% of the ink pads have
Oh
gone
my
just in the last few minutes. We're having a very, very busy start to our Christmas event. I think it's that fabulous free present. That's what everyone wants, isn't it?
Absolutely, Joe. Now, I'm just going to pop that cardstock into there. Now, the trick is here when you're doing this technique is to close your folder and not move it. But you can see now, you're going to see the two different effects that we're going to get just by lifting that over. Can you see, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
That's what's going to happen because when that ink transfers over, that's exactly what that's going to do. Now, I'm bringing back in, because it is a 3D embossing folder, I'm going to pop that cutting plate down and then placing on my folder, sandwiching my folder with the magnetic shim, move you out of the way because I don't want you, and the plastic shim, and then again just run that through. Now don't forget these smaller folders, the 3x6 folders, will go through, my mini's sat on the top here, but it will go through your Mini or your Gemini Go or your smaller machines if you own a smaller machine. But when we take this off, the difference that we're going to get now is, oh, look at that. That looks beautiful. That's where it's gone on to the indentation, so not on the raised part. But when you turn it over, that's the raised part. And look at that. You get a two for effect, a two for the price of one effect, depending on where you put your ink. That is a great way. And do you know what you could do then, Joe? You could take your sparkle clear overlay, go over those snowflakes and create a nice little effect. Almost looks twinkling. Oh, do you know what? Absolutely. Oh, look at that. Oh,
Could you also do with your water reactive? Could you do your faux sparkly snowy bleachy thing with
Absolutely, you can, Joe.
that? Is that the technical
Absolutely.
term for it?
The technical
faux
term.
sparkly snowy bleachy thing. Thought so.
Absolutely. Now, if I just hold that up for a second, you can see that's where you've got the raised feature coming through, which is why it's all in white. And so what it's done is transferred the ink into the background. But when you turn it around, because the ink's on the other side, what it's going is into the indentations and leaving the raised element white.
Should we dive in then and have a look at some of the embossing folders that you're going to have on the show? Now, this is all about festive. Now, what you've got here is a wonderful collection of 6 embossing folders. So you're actually looking at, what, about £3.50 per embossing folder, which is amazing value for money in the UK. So you've got the festive pine. You can see it there inked and also with gilding wax. We have all the gilding waxes on the show for you today. We'll take you through those as we go. You've also got the holly bells here as well. So you've got those beautiful bells. And again, picked up that gilding wax is gorgeous. Also works well when it's been inked. You've got the Christmas gift there. Again, really pops with that gilding wax. You've also got poinsettia wreath. And you've got in here as well Yuletide decoration. And then finally, my favourite actually is this one, which is Christmas by candlelight. You're not choosing, you're not picking 3 of them or anything like that. You're actually paying for 3 and you're getting the other 3 totally free of charge. You just need to make sure you've got one collection in your basket to get all of that. And also, I reckon pop some glues in the basket with that, and that would get you up to that Christmas present, that's what it's all about, you getting today. We've got some other smaller embossing folders for you on the show, a couple of different collections here. The first collection gets you 4 but it actually gets you 6 embossing folders, if that makes sense. So what you've got in this one is you have got celebration borders, you've got your vine borders, Dear Santa and Festive Note. And then the second collection in this bundle has 3 others. So it has Snow Borders, Snowflake Splendor, and also Twinkling Snowflakes. Let me give you an idea of some of the things that you're going to be able to create with these. I can see that pretty much all of you going for both collections there with that. That Music Note one is just fantastic. And actually, you know, great for Christmas, but great also all year round as well. And there you can see some of the, I love that one. How classy and elegant does that look? It gives you an idea of some of the looks you can create with those smaller embossing folders, $5.98 or $6.90 if you want to go for those. Right, we've also got for you some sparkle pens on the show today. Very, very busy before we came live. I knew they would be. Now remember, if you went for these, you'd get that clear overlay extra Christmas present as well, and it will just pop up in your basket. So in there, you've got autumn, winter, vintage tones, and you've got coastal cottage. You've got 18 pens in total there, perfect for a whole host of different effects. If you want to get some aqua tint, so it's basically our the same ink as the sparkle ink, just without that sparkle in there. You could add the sparkle over with the overlay as well if you wanted to. $25.98 to get all 3 there, or $39.90. That's a buy 2, get 1 free on that collection, which is brilliant. We've got some lovely Christmas sentiment stamps coming up on the show for you as well. I'll take you through these in a little bit more detail. It's a buy 3, get 1 free. You get a lot of stamps within here as well. You've got 42 stamps in total in that collection, which is great value. We've got some expression sentiment dies for you. These are fantastic because they're the one with the outside edge. It means remove, so it means that you can make that wonderful matte layer if you need to. £8.97 or $10.77. 3 lots of Debbie in one show. We are absolutely spoiling you today here on The Best Of. I hope you're having a fabulous weekend, whatever you're getting up to. I hope you're having the loveliest of times. Right, we did a fantastic Monday Makers show recently. So Monday Makers, again, is where we look at maybe slightly more advanced techniques, let's say. And we were looking at foiling in this recent show. It was myself and Sarah had so many requests to show how you can actually foil onto a candle. So we finally got her in the studio. I was going to say we forced her to do it. You don't need to force Sarah to do anything when it comes to the foiling, because I know she absolutely loves it. Here is that fabulous demonstration.
Don't just think about your Christmas card making, think about your Christmas the candles that I'm going to show you next are fabulous for Christmas gift making. So I'm going to get the foil press plugged in. This is what everyone has been asking for. Everyone's wanting to know how to do this. It's one of those techniques where once someone shows you, you think, oh, of course. But I thought this would be lovely, maybe a baby's first Christmas, or this could be like a first anniversary that you're making for somebody, or a first birthday, or it doesn't have to be one. You could do this for, any amount of, any type of, any birthday, any anniversary, anything you want to do on here, okay? But it's all done using tissue paper. Now what I do is I keep all of my, when you order some clothes or whatever and they come wrapped in tissue, it's always the white stuff, the cheap stuff. I keep that for this exact technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut a little bit of the tissue. You don't need very much of it. I'm going to cut a bit of the tissue. And I'm also going to get out that the design. So these are the numbers. I will walk you through all of these a little bit later, but I'll do the demo first. So first of all, we're going to foil, then we're going to stamp onto that tissue paper. So I'm going to just cut a little bit of silver foil. And you just need a very small amount for these. And what it will do is it will foil the one, but leave a little bit of a gap. Now, when you're foiling on a tissue paper, basically you only need it for about 10 seconds. So I'm going to set my seconds ready. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to need a shim because the tissue paper is very fine. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, you'll be very careful. I've got a bit of glue on the bottom. We're going to go with our 1, start the countdown timer. I'm going to get my foil ready, so the foil goes down, then the tissue, so that we're going to do the tissue into here as well. Then I'm going to put my top piece on, then we put the top plate on, and that is ready to go through the foil press. So tissue paper, because it is a little bit thinner, anytime you're working with something that is a little bit fine and thinner, just add in that extra shim. It's just a piece of cardstock and it just gives it that extra little bit of pressure.
It was Anna Marie that was really wanting to see that candle technique, so I hope you're watching now, Anna Marie, because this one is for you.
Awesome. Right, here we go. So if I just turn that again to the close-up camera so you can see, when I peel this away, you've got the perfect transfer foil. I know it looks like there's a bit missing, but trust me when I say that's on purpose. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to bring in one of my stamping mats so that we can stamp onto the remainder here. We're going to put our tissue down. I'm going to bring in so here's the rest of my foil. So if I show you this, can you see how this wraps around? I'll see if we can get you any closer so that you can see the stamping here. So what I'm going to do, actually I tell you what might be a little bit better than using the stamping mat. I'll use my positioner. Brilliant. So this is our 8-inch platform. So I'm going to pop this down, hold the tissue in place. So I'll move this up a little bit so that you can see. Wonderful. Hold the tissue in place. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at the number 1. Now I can see there, lovely, my nice big flower comes to the bottom. So it's going to wrap around the 1 and a little bit poking out from the side. So excuse me, you're going to get my hair on here, but we're going to go on. This is just going to perfectly line up around, there we go, all the way around the 1. Absolutely where we want it. We then pop this on, pick this up. I'm going to stamp it with my alcohol proof die because I'm going to colour this in. So you're going to stamp that with the alcohol proof die, plenty of it on there. Turn around and then that will just stamp exactly into place around our number 1. Absolutely perfect. And then all you need to do is come in from here and you're going to colour in around your number 1. So I've actually got one here. I've got one where I put the ST on there as well. So for the first, actually I need to do some colouring in on one. Should I get my tri-blends out? I did get them out. So I'll get a nice purple and I'll do a little bit of colouring. So what you'll see is there's a trick when you're colouring onto tissue paper. You're just going to ever so gently dab it. So don't worry about the blend. I'm just going to do a little bit of dotting onto here. A little bit of colouring on there, and of course we just had the tri-blends on Friday, so hopefully you've all got them. But I stamped with the alcohol proof die because I wanted to use the alcohol pen for colouring. So even though it's just on a tissue paper, you can still get that lovely coloured finish.
Anne is talking about timings, Sarah, and says a lot of the times in the chart talk about thicker cardstocks. Any tips for thinner cardstocks, which I guess is pretty similar to what you're doing right now with the tissue? To be honest, you'll find it is pretty much the same sort of thing. So it's pretty much going to be the same sort of timing. You will get to know your own machine, so you'll get to have a bit play with those timings. But you'll find actually it's pretty much the same if you're doing it for thinner or thicker. Now, let me show you. We're going to get ready to transfer this onto the candle. This is the exciting bit now, Jo, right? So first thing you're going to do is you're going to tear your tissue paper. So you're going to get quite close, but not too close. And you're just going to tear all around that tissue. And I always like to tear it because it gives it more of an authentic look when it's burned, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to melt it into the surface of the candle. So coming all the way around, you're going to get this all torn round so you've got that nice kind of rough edge, right? That's now waste that little bit. Then bring in your candle. Now let me just get tidied up here, Jo. I'm going to take out my number 1 there. I'm going to pop the foil press, don't need it plugging in yet, to one side, and get my candle in here. Now the other thing that you need is a little bit of wax paper, right? So you know, greaseproof paper does exactly the same. You know what you were using when we were cooking. So you need a little bit of wax paper, and I like it folded in half. And here's what we're going to do. You're going to work out where you want this to appear on your candle. So I want it, yep, that looks lovely. Then you're going to take your wax paper and wrap your wax paper around the candle. And you wrap it around and hold it at the back in place. So that's all held now, and what this is doing is it's maintaining the shape of the candle. And then you're going to come with your heat gun, and we're just going to go, let's just get this wire over here. I'm just going to put it on the lowest setting
and just melt essentially around the surface. Let's have a look. Yes, you can see that. What it does is it melts the surface of the wax, and the wax kind of melts and lets that number 1 go in. Can you see there? It's kind of changing. You kind of can't almost see where the outside of the tissue paper is now. And essentially it's like the tissue paper vanishes into the candle. Now they do say, like, you know, I wouldn't really recommend burning this, but the thing is, you're not going to do it on an expensive candle that's there for burning, are you not? This is more something that you would do for decorative purposes, something that's like a real keepsake. I made these when one of my friends got married. I made them for the centerpieces of all the tables with the names of the tables on. So you don't have to follow, you could do this technique with printing or anything like that. And then all we do, you see, that there is, I can see it melting, and can you see I've even got a little bit of the wax is actually melting through the tissue paper, but that's absolutely fine. You're just going to leave it and make sure that's all kind of, that's all stuck, and then when you peel this off, that has actually been embedded into the front of the candle. So have a little look at the close-up there. That is fully embedded into the front of that candle. And now bear in mind, this could be an image that you'd hand coloured, that you'd hand stamped, that you'd made yourself, anything, so one of your stamp designs. All you need to do is do it on a tissue paper, and then you use that technique, but it shows you that even with foiled elements, it works an absolute treat.
It really does as well. Lots of people like to make their own sort of personalised prayer candles as well, so that might be something else that you could do using that. There's so many different ways that you can use the foil press. I think also stationery is just beautiful when it's been foil pressed. The other great thing about our foils is that they really keep their shine for a very long time. I've had foiled elements in the past that seem to lose that shine after a little while. With these, for instance, here you can see these have been foiled for, well, months, if not months, then I'd say years, and still it's got that beautiful amount of shine there. Now these numbers on their own individually, they're £4.99 each in the UK, so why would you get them like that when you can get all of them for £19 or $27? It's such an incredible deal, and what I love is it's going to allow you to get all of your other colouring mediums involved in there as well at the same time. Oh, that was a fantastic show. It's a really, really great show. If you want a sort of like more advanced foiling show with a couple of hours of education and inspiration, I'd definitely say pop back and check that one out in its entirety right now over on the website. Now, as part of our festive event, boy oh boy, did we have a good one for you. We actually did the world exclusive launch of our brand new festive Quirky Sentiments. Myself and Leanne were here for it, and I must say, of all the shows I think I've ever done here at Crafters TV, it was probably the funniest one. If you need a good old laugh this weekend, pop back and watch the whole thing back. But for now, here are those world exclusive sentiment stamps. Right, so let me guide you through them, what you've got here. So they are, what's great about them is they are festive, and you know what, festive is a great time of the year, and you can make very, very traditional festive cards, and they're fantastic, but sometimes you want to make something that's a little bit more fun. So this one says, keep calm and get your ho 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 on, which I love. This one here says, naughty is the new nice. It really, really is. The next one here says, it's not what's under the tree that matters, it's who's gathered around it. And that one's a lovely little shaker card that you're getting there. What's this one here? Don't get your tinsel in a twist. That would be something that I'd say to my parents at Christmas time. This one here is, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go, with that gorgeous snow globe there, as you can see. You've got sorry Santa, but naughty just feels so nice. It's very sassy, isn't it, that one? Such a sassy stamp set that you've got there. The next one says, Merry Christmas. I don't know if, is that one in there? I don't know, I think that one may have made its way in there. I don't think that is in there. Oh, it is in there. Sorry, I take it back. It's that one just there. It's got that lovely Merry Christmas with that exploding element all around. It would look lovely heat embossed, that one. This one here says, I'm Santa's favourite. And you've also got, some things are worth melting for. as well, which is that lovely snowman. They're really fun, usable sentiments, whether they're for cards, whether they're for home decor projects, whether you want to make tags out of them as well. It's very, very busy already on that main collection. I know a lot of you have already jumped right in and ordered. Christine saying she's ordered hers already. I know Stephen said that he's got his already as well. So lots of you will be jumping to the website right away. I'm going to give you a stock update in just a moment. So I know it is very, very busy on these. Leanne, I can see you're like a coiled spring over there, aren't you? Ready to burst into action.
I am, because these are fabulous, Joe. They're so different. I really love them. Aren't they good? Joe, I would be sending to you, don't get your tinsel in a tangle. I don't know why, it reminds me of you. Which one of those reminds you of me? That's what I'm interested in.
Sorry, Santa, but naughty just feels so nice, seeing as you've been hacking at the set behind you just over there.
Well, it does. Who can deny it? It does. Right, so we're going to do a little bit of stamping. We're going to have a look at the different cards, but I wanted to show you how to do this card fold, because when I seen this for the first, oh, hang on, I'm moving it the wrong, oh, get me, look at the glue. The glue always has to get in on the show and take over. There we are. You can see that now that I've got it lined up properly for you. There we go. I seen this by our fabulous Alison Hugill. Thank you, Alison Hugill. And I just want to make one of these cards for everybody this year. I just think it is so different. I haven't seen this fold before, and I've been around in papercraft for quite a considerable amount of time. This also folds flat to go in an envelope. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get my scoreboard out, I'm going to get my guillotine out, and I'm going to work out how to do this. And I have. And so I want to show you how to do it. So if you want to do tinsel in a tangle cards like that, you can do them too. So we'll have a look at how to do that, and then we'll do some stamping, and we'll see how fabulous these stamps are. So first thing you're going to need, and there's two different versions you can do of this. There's my version and Alison's version. I did one, and it's a little bit bigger than Alison's. Big is sometimes better, isn't it? But what I've got for you is this version, and I'll show you how to do Alison's if you want to do a smaller one too. So first things, this is the one I've got for me, and what I've got is a piece of card which is 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres, or if you're in the USA, that is 8 inches by 8 inches. And what we're going to do, I'm going to work on my centimetre side of the board, so I need to flip that over. Is that right? No, that's my inches. These are my centimetres. Marvellous. We're going to score in equal intervals. So if you're doing it in inches, it will be 2 inches and 2 inches. We're doing it in centimetres, so it's going to be 5 centimetres and 5 centimetres. So from the end, I'm scoring in 5 centimetres and come all the way down. And then on this side, I'm scoring on 5 centimetres there as well, or 2 inches if you're doing it in the USA. So if you're in the USA, 8 inches, and you're scoring in 2 inches from either end there. You're also scoring it in half. Okay, so we're going down the half, which would be 4 inches or 10 centimetres if you're doing it in metric, in imperial, I beg your pardon, metric even.
I need to let you know
already,
Leanne,
yes.
I was going to tell you that 10% of the stock had gone. If I told you that now, I'd be fibbing, because 15% of the world launch stock has sold out and gone. If you're getting these in the UK, make sure you're putting something else into your basket to get you up to that £30 spend, because you want to make sure you get that free gift as well.
I'm not surprised, because they are truly fabulous and very different to anything else you've seen. Once I've done this fold, we're going to do some stamping, and we're going to make a lovely card with it, so you can see how brilliant they are to use. So you see, what I've done there is I've just done 3 score lines. So I've done at 5 centimetres in from each end, or 2 inches if you're doing it in inches, and in half. And then rotate the card, and we're going to do the same again. So I'm coming in 5 centimetres from this end, or 2 inches if you're doing it in imperial, and then we would do the same here, 2 inches from the end, or 5 centimetres. So that's at 15 centimetres. And what I will do, guys, just so you don't worry about getting these all written down while I'm talking you through it, is I will write numbers onto this, and I'll put a photograph of it on my Facebook page for you, so you've got the template and you know what to do when you want to come to do it at home. Don't worry about that. Now we need to just do some creative scoring, and that's why I've done a black line down the middle of my board, because what we need to do is some zigzags. And by zigzags, we're going to score now. So you see I've got the diagonal, and I'm just going to push that up so you can see. I've got this point on the black line and this point on the black line, so I know that I'm going right into the corner here when I score. So I'm scoring diagonal like that. I'm then going to rotate this round, and I'm lining up this line on that black line so I can see where I'm going, and then I'm coming down here and scoring on the diagonal there. I'm then rotating it round again, and this is where I need to try and by-eye it for our Sue. Make sure I've got it in the right place. There we are, I have. So I've gone in the diagonal there. So you see I've gone diagonal again. And then if I turn this round and I put my point back on the line and come down here, they're my score lines to create the card. So what I've got is do, 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 do. That's my score line. And I would do exactly the same on the other side. So just to repeat, lining it up there at the top, lining my point up at the bottom so I know it's diagonal, score, rotate the card. This little line here comes up to the black line so I know I'm going in the right direction. I'm getting that lovely in half there. Keep it still. Notice I keep it still with my scoring tool as I rotate it around. This one I'm by-eyeing again for our Sue. So I'm just going to feel and make sure I've got that in the right place. Yes, I do. So then that comes there. Spin that round again, and there we go. So now that is your card base all scored and ready to go. And we're just going to fold it together now. Now, to save you having to watch me do that, I've got one folded, but I just want to give you a couple of top tips. What I like to do with all of these fold lines is I fold them both ways. And the reason I do that is that this is one of those origami folds which you need to manipulate. So by folding your card in both ways and burnishing, you just get lots of flexibility and movement in those folds. And then next we're going to be folding all of our little diagonals and scoring those. All right, so once you've done that, we move on to the next piece, and I've got that already done for you here, which makes it easy for you to see. Okay, so that's exactly what you've just seen, but I've done my scoring and burnishing, and I've scored and burnished all these lines down here.
I need to let you know.
Yes.
A quarter of the stock has gone.
Oh my word.
It's really busy for these stamps. Well, at the end of this demonstration, I will give you another recap on all the stamps you get included, but I would urge you to get them in your basket sooner rather than later.
Yes, okay, do that because they are fantastic and you don't want to miss out. Now, what you're going to do is when you've got it, this piece, you're going to fold in half, and then you're going to fold it back and back. So that's how you're going to fold it. And then you're going to fold these so that you push them in and burnish them. So your little triangles get pushed in and then folded back on themselves like this, okay? So once you've done all of that, all we need to do is stick this together in the middle. I know it sounds crazy, but it's what, look, it's like this here. Makes it nice and firm, but gives you all these bits. It creates this firm bit in the middle here. Honestly, it's just genius, this card fold. Don't know where Alison found it, and if she made it up, somebody needs to give her a craft Oscar. Really, they do, because it's fab. Oscar.
A Kroska.
Oh, Kroska. See, yeah, one of them. Oh. Now, is that glued or is that open? Nope, that's not glued, just the middle bit. All right, so I've just done my little rectangle bit in the middle there, glue. That's getting stuck together like that. Then these all get folded back. So this sticks out and that gets folded in there. That gets folded there. So you've got that shape there. Exactly the same over here. Open it out. There is the card fold. All done for you.
So what are we calling that
like
then?
This.
I mean, it needs a name.
It does need a name. Alice, oh, hang on, I've got that one sticking out in the wrong place at the top. Can't be having that. Get you in the right place, you monster. There it is. That's it. Got it in the right place. There we are. Alison called it a try something or other.
That's what we call it. It's a try something or other.
Try something or other. Try, ordinate, coordinate, folded. We don't know what it was, but it was something like that. But there we go. And then all you do is put your paper on it and you've got that fold there. Now you see mine's wider. So I did this one wider. If you want to do it the same size as Alison's, you would have your piece of card 15 by 8. And again, you'll do the same measurements, the same folding. But what I'll do is I'll put the template on our Facebook page, on my Facebook page for you, so you can follow it. Because I think that's really different and special. that's out the way. Should we do some stamping, Joe?
Oh, I think we should.
Okay, let's do it. Right, so I've got here a little die cut topper, and we're going to be using Santa. Sorry, Santa, but Naughty just feels so nice because, you know, you said it reminded you of me today, didn't you? And we're going to be using some of our opaque pigment ink pads. And what I want to do is do an ombre of stamping. So I'm just going to show you on this one here. You see how we've got that lovely change of colours all the way through. We're going to do that with this one. I think it looks really nice, doesn't it? Now, with acrylic stamps, the first time you use them, because of the manufacturing process, they can have a coating on them, which sometimes you need to get off before you start doing your stamping. You can do that with a nail varnish remover, or you can do it with a rubbing alcohol if you like. Or if you don't want to do that, you can do as I like to do and I like to use just our watermark ink pad, and I stamp a little bit of that on first, which just gives it a little bit of extra tackiness to grab the ink just for the first couple of times you use it. After that, and it's got all the manufacturing residue off, you're fine and you're good to go and you don't need to worry about it. So I'm going to start with a little bit of the lime green. I'm going to start with that down here. So we're going the lime green here.
Is it the pigment ones that have got the more squishy ink,
Yes.
the more squishy pad? Is that right?
It is right. It's exactly what they've got. And then I've got a bit more of my grasshopper. Grasshopper's going up here.
So you don't need to worry about contaminating your ink pad here then, Leanne?
Not if you go from lighter up to the darker.
Oh, okay, perfect.
If you wouldn't go dark to light, because then
Okay.
your dark ink would contaminate your light ink pad. But if you go in the order that I'm doing, which is the lightest colour then into the darkest colour, then you don't have to worry about it.
Perfect.
So I've got a little bit of orange here. And I've got a little bit of red as well.
Fantastic.
And so
It's very, very busy. I will give you an update and take you through the colours in just a moment. But if it's in your basket, do think about checking it out. You know, if you joined us for the Softer Side of Life show earlier, then you'll know we had so many sellouts in that. And this is the first chance anyone has got to get their hands on these. However, we only have a finite amount of stock because we have to, we've got to send them all to HSN and then we've got to send them all to Create and Craft as well. So if you want to get your hands on, you want to be the first crafters globally to craft with these, then you need to be ordering in this show.
Okay, so I'm using my stamping mat because I do want to because this is the pigment ink and we're going to heat emboss it, and I do want to get a good, nice coverage. So you see I'm using my stamping mat, I'm using my stamping platform. I've stamped that down on that little die cut circle I've got there, and I've got my Sorry, but Sarah, but Naughty just feels so nice, all stamped on there fabulously. Now what I've got is my Harry Potter glitter powder. Now if you've watched the Pigment Ink Masterclass that I did, you'll know how I make this. If you didn't, then I'm going to explain it here. I'm just getting it on there now.
Where were you? That's what I want to know.
Because I don't want that ink to dry off a little bit. I wanted to grab the powder, and I'm going to tell you what I've done. You don't need to buy glitter embossing powder because you can make your own. And actually this is the leftovers that I'm using here from that Pigment Ink Masterclass that we just put in a little Ziploc bag and saved it for the next time I wanted to use it. So
some people use an anti-static bag, Leanne. Why do some people choose to do that, but some people don't?
Yes, using an anti-static bag with heat embossing is a very good idea. I haven't got one. Mine's at home. With a plain white cardstock like that, it's not so much of an issue.
Okay.
But if you are doing it on acetate or vellum, something that's very static that would grab the particles, then it is absolutely advisable to do it. If you don't have an anti-static bag at home, actually, if you've got, show me age again. You won't know what these are, Joe. Do you know what a pop sock is?
A what?
A pop sock.
It's like a trainer sock that only comes to the bottom of your foot.
No, it's like tights with no body.
So like
like your nylon tights.
Why would you want nylon tights that don't got your legs though?
Yeah, because, well, when ladies are wearing trousers, they don't need any of that going on around here with their tights and then their trousers on top, so that's uncomfortable.
So where do pop socks come up to on the leg?
Your knee.
Your knee?
Your knee.
All the way to your knee?
All the way to your knee.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
and
they're
it just keeps the bottom of
like
your leg
a
warm.
compression sock?
It's like a sheer sock. It's a sheer sock, it's your tights. So when you've got your shoes on, you haven't got bare feet and you've got your nice tighted foot, up your leg a little bit warm, but you haven't got all the body stuff going on under your trousers.
Sounds a bit all fur coat, no knickers to me.
Well, that's the pop sock world for you. So you need to cut half a leg out of a tight,
Right.
or use a pop sock, put some corn flour in it and tie a knot, and you can use that as an anti-static bag.
Right, okay.
So that's just a little top tip for you. But to make your glitter powder, you just want some clear embossing powder, which is what I put here. Clear embossing powder, about 3 tablespoons, and about the same of glitter, so 50-50, 1-to-1 in terms of the ratio of a clear crystal glitter into the powder. Mix it up and you've made your own glitter embossing powder. Could not be more easy.
Someone's saying that apparently a dryer sheet works if you don't have an anti-static bag.
It
I've
does,
not heard
it
that one
can.
before.
It can, but it's nowhere near as fun as getting the pop socks and putting the toes out the tight with your corn flour.
Fair enough. They call them knee-highs in the US apparently. And in Canada, Belinda just says this conversation about pop socks is fantastic. That's what she says. I'm glad we pleased you today, Belinda, because I'm glad we've cheered you up. I remember pop socks are blessed, Joe. A lot of people are saying it's very, very busy. Hello from Ohio, Tom. A quick question: are these stamps from the HSN auto ship of sentiment? I don't think they are.
Nope, brand
These
new.
are brand
new.
new. They will be coming to HSN. They'll be coming to HSN in July, in the July Christmas Day. Oh, that looks gorgeous.
Now look at that. Look at the glitter, and you need a bit of glitter at Christmas with your heat embossing, don't you? So definitely when you're using these, do them with your pigments, do them with your heat embossing, put your glitter in, and that's the kind of result you're going to get. Ombre your ink pads, don't stick with one solid colour. Why would you when you can have 4 colours? Right, okay.
Also,
Why would
remember, maybe you went for the rose gold collection on HSN and you're going to do it some clear embossing ink and have the rose gold festive centre. That rose gold collection, Leanne. Oh my
Did you
word.
like it, Joe?
Oh, did I like it? I couldn't stop banging on about it for months. You know, we're having Rose Gold Day here on the 26th of June.
Are we?
Whole day to celebrate Rose Gold. Yeah, that's the day it's going to launch officially in the UK, and it'll be your first day if you want to restock any of the items. Maybe you didn't get them
so
all.
it's a real thing.
Oh, it's actually a real
Oh, it's a
thing.
real
Yeah, I'm not
thing.
just. It's not like a Joe thing.
I thought
like
you
so
just
many
made it
things
up,
are.
Pat. I'm like, I'm having a rose gold day.
It's not like all everyone thinks. I think because they have so many Joe things now, people think that these real things don't actually happen. No, it's a real thing that's actually happening with real people, including you guys.
Oh, I can't wait. That rose gold collection is off the chart.
It is amazing.
Isn't it? It is beautiful. Right, so I've got some pieces here to put together and make a card. And at the same time, I'm including loads of stuff. We're having a glue school, Joe, at the same time. So we're going to have
Fabulous.
a little glue school. We're going to talk about the different glues and how you use them when you're putting a card together, because I'm going to use most of them in putting this card together. So you can
Okey-doke.
understand why we've put that little collection together for you. Is that okay? Right, so I've got a little white card base that I've folded here. And I've just done this out of a 300 GSM white card. And I'm going to stick to my white card a mirror card matte and layer. Now, because I'm sticking mirror card on the reverse onto a porous background, I can use my Collal all-purpose glue. So when I'm sticking the back of mirror cards, when I'm sticking mirror card to something, all-purpose is the glue that I want, because it sets like a rock and things will never fall apart when you're sending them to people in centrally heated or very cold areas. It is a glue that bonds with all of the fibres, makes it become one, and has wonderful rigidity, wonderful firm rigidity once it's dry. It makes cheap cardstock feel like quality cardstock. So I've glued that on there, and I'm going to do the same inside. So because I'm gluing mirror card to a porous surface, a regular piece of card, I can use my all-purpose. And I'm going to show you all-purpose sticking scrapbook paper to a card as well, which is really good. So I'm using my all-purpose and I'm sticking that on there. Now then, I am about to stick something to mirror card. This is when you wouldn't want to use your all-purpose glue. And the reason you wouldn't want to use your all-purpose glue is it can peel the surface, because this is an alcohol and this is a film stuck on with glue. The two will react with each other and it can peel the film off your mirror card. So when you're sticking things to mirror card, you would usually want to use your tacky glue for that. because that's a water-based glue and doesn't interfere with anything you're sticking onto your mirror card. That's why tacky glue is in there. However, when you're sticking scrapbook paper, you never want to use tacky glue for that, because the water in the glue soaks into your paper and makes it go all wobbly and horrid, which is why you've got the red liner tape in your collection. And I can't find my red liner tape, so I'm going to use my tape pen, but your tape pen or your red liner tape would do the exact job for you here, sticking onto your mirror card. So then you take that and you stick onto your mirror card your piece of decorative paper. Okay, so we've got that there, and I'm going to do exactly the same inside. So this is where the red liner tape in the kit, or your tape pen if you've got it, will do the job for you. So we've got that there. So that's the front of the card and the reverse of my card all done. Now what I'm going to do is stick my topper in the middle of my card. That's my Sorry Santa But Naughty Just Feels So Nice. And we're going to use, again, because I'm sticking onto, what's this word? Glitter card. I can't use my tacky glue because it'll warp the cardstock, and I can't use my all-purpose because it'll peel the one off here. So what I'm going to do is actually use my 3D glue gel, because I would like some dimension to lift this topper up. So what I'm going to do, and you can use this as a flat glue or as a dimensional glue. To stick my white topper on here, I'm going to use it as a flat glue, and that's going on top of my glitter card there. So there we go. And then to raise that topper up, what I want to do is use it as a dimensional glue. And what a dimensional glue does is lift things up for you. So this is where we put it on, this time in blobs, in raised little balls, little globules of the glue, like that. And this will, then I put my topper on, will raise that from the card and give me that lovely 3D dimension that we've got there. The other good thing that your 3D glue gel is for is sticking your embellishments, which is why I raided the studio earlier. Sorry, Laura. And I've got a nice lump of my glue here. I've got my...
All that foliage looks nice. Where's that come from?
Just out my crafty stash.
Oh, just out the stash, yeah.
Just out my crafty stash. Thank you. And then I've got a little bit of ribbon as well, and that's got my 3D glue gel on. And so now that's stuck my three-dimensional embellishment on there, which looks lovely. And that's how all of the different glues come together to put a project together. And you can see how, just with some pretty paper, and then inside decorating the card as well. And actually what I would do is I would just put a little panel in there, just so you can write on it, and I will do that to finish it off. Inside the card you can see, and that finishes it off nicely. Just finally, before we go, one final glue school thing is for you.
I just need to let a few people know, Leanne.
Okay.
Some people are not seeing the glue bundle on the website. It's a problem that is affecting a few people at the moment. We're doing some upgrades on our website at the moment. There's been a few little gremlins in the system, and this is one of them. It will be there. We are going to add it back. So when it is available and back in stock on the website, I will let you know. I'll give you a heads up, okay?
Right, so what I've done there is I've got my piece of scrapbook paper, and you see I've put a goodly amount of all-purpose glue all over there, but it is not coming through, it's not soaking through my piece of scrapbook paper, it's not making it warp or wobble, it doesn't look awful, and I can stick this to my card now and it will be sealed, and I won't get any of that horrible warping and water coming through when you're using your scrapbook papers, and your all-purpose glue is fantastic for that. So that's what all of your different glues are good for, Joe, and that is what your little card will look like when you put it together using our fabulous Quirky Centimetre stamps. Aren't they gorgeous?
Oh, we had a right old chuckle during that show. Definitely go back and watch the whole thing back if you can. Now remember, we are in the midst of our festive event, 2 whole weeks of Christmas crafting coming your way, and every day we're going to give away a free gift. However, we only have a finite amount of the free gift available. All you need to do is make sure you've got £30 or $30 worth of products in your cart after your Club Inspired discount has come off, and this will appear. If it doesn't appear, then it may have gone for the day, but if it's there and in stock, it will pop itself into your basket. Right, it's been a pleasure to come here and be with you this Saturday. I hope you have a great day, whatever and however you choose to spend the rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow for Second Chance Sunday, and there's loads of fabulous products available in that for you. It's just you and me together, so I get the chance to be a little bit naughty. Naughty, a little bit naughty, let's say. And then remember, of course, we have a whole new week of shows starting on Monday, of course, taking us into the second week of that festive event. There'll be a different free gift every single day. Have a great day, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you back here soon again on Crafters TV. Take care.